can't we rebuild the sound of musical instruments? This comes from Rick in Humble, Texas, which I think he said is near Dallas, maybe? It sounds like a pretty humble place to me. And Rick writes, if we can colorize classic black and white movies, and you've all seen that, like, oh gosh, well, there's a number of really excellent colorization of movies that just add life and color to the movie that was originally black and white. Some people hate them, I know, leave them alone. But I like them. I just think they've done just such a great job. So why can't we use similar technologies to enhance recordings? Seems like we could do this for sound. After all, we know what instruments actually sound like. So we know what a clarinet sounds like, and we know what a tuba or something sound like. Why can't we take those old recordings and put the color back into them, adding in the extra frequencies above and below the voice ranges that were removed or not captured in the first place, just like the film guys have done? That's a great question, and I certainly am familiar with people restoring old records like vintage 78s, and they've got all kinds of ways to remove the ticks and the pops, and if it has a truncated frequency response, where here's the middle and then it kind of rolls off on the top and the bottom, we can certainly easily use graphic equalizers to sort of pump up the bottom and the top to capture some of that missing energy that you would have, and they will sound more high fidelity than they did in their original day. But what you're referring to is very specific, and I don't know enough to give you a great answer. I included this because I thought it was a terrific question, and maybe one that, even though I don't have the answers to, might spark discussion. And while we're on that subject, one of the things that I like to do in this series, Ask Paul, is spark discussion. If you'll notice on some of my videos, there's hundreds of comments. Some of them are like, but many of them are extremely informative, really well done. And thank you for adding your voice to these videos, because we're here to learn, to share. I'll share with you what knowledge I have, and I would appreciate it if you would do the same. I mean, why the hell not? It's a community, right? We're here as a community to learn about stuff and to share our knowledge and experience. So hopefully someone will chime in. I could see how technically to take a single instrument. Let's take a clarinet. If we had a single instrument recording of a clarinet, say on just a single instrument on an old recording, I could imagine adding in through a synthesizer. You could take the original thing and then you could add, using a synth, you could add harmonics and things that are missing that would give better tone to that known entity of the clarinet, and I'll bet it would sound far closer to a clarinet. To do that in a complex waveform, though, where you have an orchestra or even a band or a singer, I think that would be much harder to, essentially, you'd have to pull out the voice, rebuild it, and then put it back into the mix. And this is in a mono recording. So that would be very, very difficult indeed. I mean, I would think these guys in forensic audio, you've maybe seen stories or read about these forensic audio experts that can take this garbled mess and clear away all the stuff and get down to the meat of it and hear these secret conversations in crowded rooms, or God, what was it, Yanni and I don't remember, some goofy thing. Is it Yanni or whatever? Oh, hey Alexa, what's the thing about, is it Yanni? What is that?
I don't know that.
Oh, you dummy. All right, Rant. Alexa has, oh, go away. Alexa has the best vocal skills, and she sounds so much more like a human and interacts beautifully, but she doesn't connect up to the advanced search like Google has. So her information is rather limited. Mrs. Google, what is it called? The Google Home Play, on the other hand, has not so good voice skills. Her voice skills, she doesn't sound real. She sounds a little bit robotic, and I don't appreciate it. But man, the answers that Mrs. Google gives are great. And not only that, but they're related. So think about this. If I ask Siri, which is the worst of all three, how Apple let that get away from them? I'm an Apple guy, right? And Siri was the first one out the chute. And we thought, oh, here we go, communicating with machines, But if I pull out my phone and I go, hey Siri, tell me about meerkats. Here's what I found for you on the web. If I wanted something on the web, I'd frickin' look it up myself. I don't need to ask this for a web search. All right, I'll calm down. Because anyway. So Mrs. Google does the best job. She does related searches. Not only can you say, what's a good example? Who won the World Series in 1982, or pick something like that. And Mrs. Google will say, here's your answer. If you immediately say, and who was the MVP of that game, Mrs. Google will answer the question for you because she remembers a relationship of what you're talking to. Ask Alexa? Nope. Doesn't do it. And Siri? Forget it. It's a joke. I just wish that these guys could get together. I know they're mortal enemies, and they'll never do it. How did I get off on that rant? Well, I don't know. But anyway, there it is. I know, we were talking about audio forensics. So I think maybe it could be done, but if you have some ideas on it, because I think it's a fabulous question, and I'm really glad that Rick asked it. So anyway, that's the best I got. I appreciate you watching, and let's chat tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.